All right, everyone. Good evening. So let's see if the stream is on. Where's the live? Looks like the stream is still not on. Oh. So looks like the stream is on, and so all this week I was actually out on a business trip, so I couldn't really log in and trade, and so wanted to kind of go through some of the action we mixed this week. And to do that, so we have this neat feature called as Apex Replay. So it is one of the features that we have in our Apex scanner. So if you open the replay, and so the way you go is as soon as you log into the Apex scanner, you land on the main page. And when you open the main page, on the left side, you have the feature called Apex Replay. And when you open the Apex Replay, you see all the days on which the replay is available. So you can pick one of the days, and let's say we pick Wednesday, right? And it allows you to seek through right from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. So this is for people who want to get into small cap trading, but then, they might be in a full-time job, they got to leave early and they miss most of the market moves. And, while they're working, they want to see if they can actually be profitable in this. So this is a simulator that replays the whole market conditions the way they were on that particular day of trading. What were the movers? What were the gainers? So on and so forth. You can seek this to start the replay at any point of that day. And you also have these neat little buttons that you can press. Like, for example, there are a few traders who try to, catch the early morning moves, like right at 4 a.m. And then there are, I mostly trade starting around 6:30 to 7. So let's put it around 6:30. And all you got to do is select the day, select the time since when you want to see the market the way it was, and then click on Start Replay. And it'll automatically open the trading desk for you. So on this morning, let's see, we don't really have a lot going on. So you can see that the live trades are streaming in. You got the NBBO book in your orders panel. And for those of you who don't really know how the layout is structured, you can add your scanners by clicking on, the little widgets you have over here. For example, let's assume that you did not have the top losers. You can click on it and it'll populate the top losers. And you can rearrange any which way you want. For example, if I wanted to move it over here, you can move it. You can have multiple different widgets tagged in each window. You click on the other, little ribbon at the top to move to the other window that is tagged. I already have the top loser, so let me close this. Let's look at how the market looks, right? So this is exactly like what you'd have traded on that particular day. So right now it says that it's around 6:29:13. STFS was making a move. So let's see. So we got some trades coming in, and you'd be able to take trades live. So when I say live, you can, for example, I can enter a position right here, and I use the hotkeys to get in. You can use the hotkeys to get out, and all the trades are captured over here in the trades, and then your closed positions are pretty much shown here, right? Let's go back to the open positions. So on this day, I've lost like $2.50, $2.74 from the trade I took. So let's see. So how do I generally trade? There are two items that I am closely keeping a watch on. One is the Apex acceleration, and the other is the Apex attention. So for me to even think about getting into a trade, I want this number of trades per second to be, in 50 and above category. Like if the number of trades are above 50, I am interested in taking the trade. If they're not, I just don't, because there's not enough liquidity in the market for me to, safely kind of predict what the price action is going to be. But right now, purely from the charts, I think anything above 578 is something that would kind of get me interested, because the shorts would start to cover. And it's not just that it has to breach 578, it has to breach and hold. The way I trade, I generally look for a key level to break and then wait either for a pullback or I wanted to like hold a particular level for a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, 11 seconds, whatever. Basically, like, the way it's holding right now. But the problem with this is it does not really have a lot of volume. So I might not be interested in the trade. So this is the Apex replay. It pretty much, a lot of times when I trade, I notice that I would perhaps make a mistake and I want to see what happened and is it something, that I can maybe do better. So this would be super useful for traders who want to analyze their trades for each day. So if you go back to the Apex replay, so you will see the latest trade that we have on the replay is July 31st. That was the previous day. And even during the market hours, the regular hours, let's say, it's Monday, which would be, August 3rd. And let's say it's 12 p.m., right? And you'd have taken some trades in the morning and probably, you didn't do really well in some of the symbols or the stocks. And you want to see what went wrong, what happened. So you will see this Apex replay populated at up until the 12 a.m. mark. Let's say till 11:58. It's behind by about a minute. But then you would be able to pretty much put this seek button, the seek ribbon at any point on that particular day, and then you could start trading. So that's the idea of Apex replay. It allows you to analyze and see if one, you're profitable, number two, go and review your mistakes. So this was something which, when I was trading, was, pretty hard for me to kind of get the same functionality from any other vendor out there. So I thought, what, it makes sense to make something which would be useful for me. Let's see. So right now in the market condition, let's say if I was trading live, I wouldn't even look at DFNS because it's too expensive for me. I generally don't even trade stocks which are about $20. STFS, the chart looks a little wonky. The reason why I say that, it has come to this level at multiple times and it hasn't managed to like break it. So I'm not too keen on it. I might take a trade on the dip side because if you notice, every time it breaches on the 5-minute, the 9 EMA on the 5-minute, it tends to bounce. So I'd be interested, but the more convincing bounce are a little lower than the 20 EMA. So maybe if it comes over here, which is around 5.7, is when I'd be interested in taking a trade. I could take a smaller position around 5.30, 5.20, just to see, because it is still at the 20 EMA on the 1-minute chart. And the other neat feature that I have is, it plots the previous candle's high and lows. So you plot it from here and you have these little icons and you click that plots the high, and this plots the low of the previous chart. So once the 1 minute, for example, this minute crosses over, so you'd be able to see the low and high of this. Similarly for this, like for example, this is telling you on, at 5.25 is the low of the previous 5-minute candle. So a lot of the 5-minute traders who are trading this, so if it breaches 5.25 to the lower side, I'm probably going to make an exit. So it's a really tricky spot to actually go get into a trade. But I could do it with a much smaller size, hoping for a bounce to, let's say, 550. But the best thing to do is wait out for this candle to close and the next candle to, make a newer high compared to this previous closed candle. That would be the best possible trade. But right now the market is pretty dead. I believe these, so this is basically giving you exactly the conditions that existed on July 29th at 6:36 a.m. So right around 7 a.m. is when most of the traders log in. I believe it's because of some of the other platforms which only allow trading after 7 a.m. And once they come in, there's going to be more volatility in the market. So let's just be patient. I could walk you through some of the features of this platform until then. So this platform comes in with the scanners. Your scanners have, you have your Apex acceleration, which basically is telling you which stocks are on the move. Apex attention is basically the stocks which most of the traders are trading right now. The top gainers and the after hour gainers are basically the stocks. Top gainers is during the market hours starting 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. what are the highest gaining stocks? That's pretty much self-explanatory. The after-hour gainers are the stocks which start rallying in the after hours and also in the pre-market before 9:30 a.m. right from 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Similarly, apex losers is the stocks which have lost most on the day, and these are your after hours, and we also have the top losers during the regular market hours. These could be useful if you're looking for the reversal trades, the bounce trades. You could make a decent move, catch a decent move just based on the reversals. I remember there was a stock which went from $7 to like 20 cents, and from 20 cents it rallied close to like $3.5. So 20 cents to $3.5 if you started trading at 20 cents is an insane percentage. It's almost like 1600%, right? So sometimes I do keep a look on the losers as well. And then you also have your reversals. So these reversals, I generally look at the ones which make the U pattern, where a stock comes out with fresh breaking news and then sells off after making a new high, but then starts to like curl. So these are the curls that I'm interested in trading. And then you also have your halts. So in the Apex replay, so you also have the halts panel. So if I started the replay, let's say, around 9:30 a.m. and onwards, you will see the replay show up the halts just the way it did on that particular trading day, right? So that's one of the features of uh, the scanner. Let's see, what else can we cover while the market is pretty much dead? So you also have the chat rooms, which would be the small cap chat and the large caps chat. So you can click on each of these widgets and it's going to open them in a window. You can arrange them. You have your Power Toys on Windows. I'm not sure if you guys know of Power Toys. So the Power Toys allows you to pretty much one, set your hotkeys. You could set your hotkeys, and then you have something called as fancy zones within them. So this is the Power Toys fancy zones. It can allow you to kind of arrange your different windows in different positions. So that way, you can, let's say you want to stick it at the top, you press shift and you see I have like this structure over here. I just drop it in there, it just goes fixes there. So that's the neat feature which is on the Windows machine, and most of the traders are on Windows. So this app is created primarily for the Windows machine. And those are the individual different scanners that you have. And then you also have the chat rooms. But for the ease, like keeping everything organized, so that's why you have the open trading desk. The trading desk is basically it's something that allows you to organize all your different widgets. You can move things around, you can remove them. Like for example, let's say, I don't really want to keep the after hour gainers, I can close it. If I really want to add it again, I go here and then after hours gainers, and I can switch them between. I can click on each and then that particular panel lights up and you see the data from that panel. It just allows me to keep things organized. It also has the full screen mode, so you make use of the whole layout rather than leaving out room for the ribbons down and so on and so forth. You also have a little clippy at the top, which you click on, and then it kind of it's a complete, it's flush with the top and it's flush at the bottom, so you have all the real estate space that you need to pretty much trade, right? So you also have that within the replay as well. So this one is live, so it just shows you what the market closed, in the position the market closed on Friday evening, and you will see. So that's the time it is set. This is live. This is the time right now. I'm in the Eastern zone, and it always shows the Eastern zone because that's the reference that everyone uses for trading. Let me close this. So the way this is a live workbench and not a replay is because the replay section at the bottom is missing. So if I go here, you will notice that the replay section is shown at the bottom. You can also pop out something out of this workbook. For example, if I want to pop out the Apex gainers, I can click on it and you will see that it still has the replay at the bottom. So that way you will never be confused whether it's a live or a replay window. Let's close this and let's add the apex gainers over here, and I generally like to keep this layout. And then you have the stock info panel over here. So this has what a brief description of the company, what country this particular stock trades out of, or where it is based out of, and what's the exchange the stock is listed on. So this is Nasdaq. What's the volume that has traded on this day? What's the float of the stock? What was the previous close and the price of the stock? And what's the current price of the stock in the after hours pre-market? So since we're on the pre-market, it shows up over here. And then you have your charts. In your charts, you have your drawings on this side. You have your trend, ray, extended line, horizontal lines, vertical lines. And then you have your rectangles, channels, and then you have your text, your arrow ups, your call outs, your price labels, and then you have your measurements, long position, short position, anchored VWAP, and all of those kind of things. And you have a button which you can click to pretty much hide all the drawings, and one to delete all the drawings. You also have the magnet mode. So you don't have so many different drawing symbols like, let's say, TradingView, because this is purely for small cap trading. And with small cap trading, most of the things I draw are like the trend lines. For example, if I want like an extended line, I click here. The neat thing about this is it'll draw to multiple charts, right? So if I come over here, so you will see the same line pretty much shows up on every single chart. So that is something which was lacking in the different vendors of the charts. And I really needed it because think about it. The trend line kind of stays true for all the charts, and draw one trend line for that particular symbol and forget about it. So that was the idea. So let's see, DFNS is the only stock which is moving, but then the price is a little too expensive for me. STFS is the other chart. Not too interested in this because it hardly has any volume to it. And the other thing is for the borrow fee, you will see what the borrow fee for a particular chart is. So it gives you a live 15-minute update. And this is like the trend of the borrow fee. So you can see the borrow fee is going up and the available shares to borrow is coming down. So you can highlight on it and it is going to tell you how many are remaining. So that's about that particular chart. Let's see. Let's try to see if we can actually do some trading, because I couldn't trade all week. And man, I love to trade. And even if it is on a simulator, the rush you get out of it, it's fun. So I'm just trying to see if something is on the move and I can trade. Right now, the time is 6:45 a.m. On this day, on this replay. So let's see. Let's give it another 15 minutes. When more traders come in, it makes sense. And then you also have your news panels. So you can click on the news panel. It tells you what the news is and whether it is a bullish or if it is bearish. For example, for AMEX, the news that has come out is, I see that priced public offering. So it had a public offering, which was around 5 p.m. the previous day. And I think it was a private placement. So for the most part, I don't really look at news. What I look for is if, there is a news and how the market reacts to it. Because a lot of times, imagine if there is a private placement, right? And if it is a big player who's taking a position in the company, it is bullish, although it's a dilutive event. It is bullish overall, so people might want to buy the stock. So, and then there would be times where, there are news that obviously, on the surface might look like super bullish, but the price action does not support that behavior. So I just look for one thing, which is there news on it and how the price is moving. Like when the price is bullish, that is the only indication I rely on. I don't just look at the news and take your position. I don't do that. With micro caps, you cannot do that because even if the price like spikes higher, right? At some point, the way these companies work is for years they would be non-profitable and then they would have like something positive to report. So they'll print out a PR and traders will chase the PR and the price action, and the price goes up. But then these companies are cash strapped and they want to like take positions, that allow them to increase their cash positions in the company. So they will do an offering after that. So never hold on to these small cap stocks and never invest just based on the news. Always look at the price action, see how the stock is moving. The news is at best a supporter indicator. It is secondary. The primary thing is the stock on the move? Is the stock doing what I want it to do? And if so, is there news on it is a secondary catalyst? Because you'd have also seen that a lot of these Chinese companies make these insane 1,000% moves, 300% moves, 400% moves. I've seen a stock make 3,000% move in a day. So, and with no news, absolutely no news. So news is like totally secondary for me. It's like, one piece to the puzzle, but not the whole story. Anyhow, since the market is still asleep, so we went through the scanners. Let's go and check out what the other features that we have. So we have the simulator. Simulator is something which is packed as a part of the trading desk. So as a part of the simulator, what we have is you have it both on the replay and you also have it on the trading desk. You get the orders panel, you get the time and sales, and you also get your positions where you could get in a trade. You get your closed positions, you get your open positions. You know what? Since the market is closed on this day and we have the replay, which is the only one which works, because we are simulating what happened on that particular day with the replay, right? So you can see what your working orders are. You can see what your trades that you've taken on that particular day are. And let's say I put a limit order on this and, let's say a limit price, I can say as last 35.76, and let me change it to manual. Let me do 30. And let me say I want to buy 100 shares and let me buy. So you will see this is my orders and I can cancel it. And so the trade is not taken. MX is on the move. Not really interested. So you can see that the scanners are actually extremely sensitive. So the Amex, it says it fired at first at 649.43. So 649.40 is when it actually made the move. And it fired within 3 seconds of the first move it made. So these are very sensitive and these will get, ringing as soon as something actually starts moving with volume. Anyhow, so the scanners and also the replay also supports hotkeys. So for the hotkeys, you have within the simulator, you have your hotkey settings. So you can click on manage hotkeys. And here it is in the style where you pretty much add a hotkey if you want from here. And you select whether it's on the buy side or the sell side. So by default, all the users come with the hotkeys of Control and Alt keys. It's a combination of Control plus 1 to 9 on the numpad. You can change it if you want. So you can see Control plus num1, Control plus num2, Control plus num3. So the way I set my hotkeys, so this is what by default everybody gets. And within each hotkey, you can select whether it is based on the amount, based on percentage of your net buying power, or just flat out shares. So I have kept it at dollar amount because it allows me to trade based on a small account. And then you can also set the order type as limit, and you also have your offset functionality. You have your time and focus as good to cancel, good till canceled, or your day. And then once you set your hotkey, you just click on save. So by default, every new account that gets created comes with a hotkey. And then you also have your sim account settings. So in the simulator, once you start, for example, you have different challenges. By default, everybody gets a $25,000 standard account with which they can sim trade. In addition to that, you have challenges, which basically is like you start with a $2,000 account, and the goal is to make it into a $10,000 account on the simulator within 30 days. And then you have the century run, which is again start with 25,000 and turn it into, let's say, 100,000 in 30 days. And you can, this challenge automatically ends in 30 days if you don't manage to finish it, or you finish it, then there's a little congratulations that shows up. You can restart the challenge. You can also create your own challenge with your own rules, and you can modify these challenges or these account rules in your account settings. So here you'd be able to select what current account you're on. Right now, I just have the standard 25,000 account, so that's why you see, what's the current equity and what's your max position sizing, what's your max open positions, what's your max daily loss, default stop percent, what's your buying power maximum. By default, you can set all these functionalities so you can get as close to the realistic trading as possible. So, your practice makes sense. So when you start trading with real money, you can be more confident with your trades. Now, apart from the simulator, you have your journal. So you click on the trading journal. It shows up the calendar based on the trades you've taken. I haven't traded on this because I was trading in the other account which I had set up. This is my admin account, so not a lot of trades taken in this. But let's take an example, right? So it has your P&L curve, which gives you your P&L through the whole time period. You can select whether it was for the month, the week, the year. So pretty much all time frames that you'd be interested in. And it tells you your P&L by the day, and you can hover over it. How many trades you've taken shows up. What's your total P&L on that particular day? All of that show up. You have your metrics in terms of your net P&L, daily average. What's your expectancy, and your win percentage, your win rate, what's your average winner size, average loser size, average green day. Since I've just taken 3 days, it's averaging out the 3. And then it also gives you profit and loss by the hour. It tells you in a day, like on a trading day, what hour of the day you're the most profitable. So in my opinion, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. is when I'm most profitable. And then again, from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. is again somewhere where I make money. And you have your win percentage by the hour. You can see as the day goes by, my win percentage at least came down in the simulator. Not a lot of trading days, so the data is sparse on it. But then if you use this tool more often, you could probably calculate what exactly your metrics are. And then you could dig down into each of these days where for example, I clicked on this particular day where I made 778 simulator money. And over here, you can see all the trades I've taken. If I can click on, let's say, EDBL, it brings up a chart where it shows me, the trades I've taken on this day. You can see on this, I on a 1-minute candle. So I first entered with 175 shares at 8.55, and again with 173 shares at 8.67, and then I kept averaging down. And initially, looks like I actually made money on this because it then goes up to 8.74. I sell half pretty much, and then it goes to 9.04. I sell the other half. Looks like I sold it right at the top. And then I sell some more, and then I'm out of that position. Then I get in again in that position at 8.13, and then I sell them pretty immediately. And the next set is I buy at 189, a small amount, and then it goes into the next candle, so on and so forth. So this tells you how much P&L you made on that particular trade, like on the series of trades. And then this one is on the next series of trade on that particular candle. And this tells you how many shares you traded. Like, for example, on this, my total high was about 1,600 shares. So 1,600 shares was my high. I sold everything, and then I bought some more, and I had some left over from the previous position. And I bought and I sold the rest. And this metric gives you how many cents I made per share. So you can see on this, I made about 17 cents on this cell. And on this, I made about 27 cents. And this is percentage gain per share, how many shares I sold. So I gained about 2% on a $1,400 position. And on this, I gained about 3.5% on a 468 share position. So this tells me I took 2 trades on this. I went long twice, and then I sold everything and I exited the position for a total profit on EDBL of $378. And then let's click on ENTX. So it looks like all my trading was centered around here. This tells me what my entry and exit points were. So as you can see, I scalp a lot. So I don't just enter a position and, wait for, let's say the 1 minute to break or the 5 minute to break. The way I trade is I generally try to buy the dips around key support levels, and I tend to sell it in the pops. And my trades are generally 5 cents to 20 cents max. I'm not looking to get 50 cents or 30 cents from a trade. That is not something I'm trying to do. So that's that. And then I have beer. So this is basically all your metrics. And then you also have the mistakes tags. So you can click on, maybe you got in high and you were on FOMO. So you could click add a custom tag and you could click this, add it, and it's pretty much going to show up on your metrics. The next thing is you can also import your trades. So we have 12 brokers that we support. You can import your trades, and these would be the live trades. So if you go to the dashboard, you have your option to switch between simulator and your replay. And if you have added any real money trades, so this button would be enabled, and you would be able to select all your accounts that you have added real money in. But simulator, you have many accounts, so this will show all simulator accounts. So if I had added, the 2000 challenge or the 10,000 challenge, so all those accounts would pretty much show up here. So that's the journal. Let's go back to the Apex scanner again. So Apex Academy, this is something where I'm going to record videos of, some of the strategies I employ to pretty much how I trade, how to trade the small caps, because this is primarily meant for small cap trading. So this would be mostly focused on small cap trading. Maybe I'll move to large caps. I have some scanners set up for large caps. But then I haven't really tested them out, so I don't think I'm going to release it as a part of the Pro Plus plan or the Pro plan. I would be doing it maybe later, but right now this is just purely small cap trading. And then you have also got your replay, where you click on a replay and it shows you the previous 10 days of trading, where you can pretty much relive the market the way it happened tick by tick, right? Just for example, right now, if you see, STFS is actually on the move, and I quite like the move. I really do like the move. Let's see. So 6.62 is the high. I know for a fact that it's going to breach it because that's what generally tends to happen, and it's holding the level. But I'm interested in buying a dip, right? So let's keep looking. 6.28. That's where it is. I'm going to take a smaller position. I'm in at 6.32. And what I don't like about this chart is the fact that every time it comes up, it sells off. That's what I don't like about it. I'm still looking at the volume. It's on a lower volume, the sell-off. There's still 3.5 minutes on this 5-minute candle. So it has a good chance that it will recover. Let's put it in the full screen mode and let's see. I like what the chart is doing. It is holding the position, and okay, we got a good dip there. This candle has about 8 seconds left on it. Oh, that was nasty. You know what? Around $6 is a good place to enter, so I'm going to take a bigger position here. So the goal is to sell it around 6.6, 6.5. So I'm in with 1,200 shares. I'm going to sell some just in case to be safe. I'm going to sell more. So the way I'm trading this is I am averaging down at key support level. So I know for a fact that this chart has potential to break the 660. But at the same time, my initial average was around 630. And since when it dropped down, I add at the sudden drops and at the key levels, and then I will sell some of my positions so that I can reposition myself in it in the case it drops again, right? So I like the fact that it is holding here. My 9 EMA is right around 560. So I would be interested in taking a trade right here in the 570s and a little more. My average is 592, so I'm going to sell it around 6. We still got about a minute and a half in the 5-minute candle. Okay, I don't like that. I'm going to be patient because 560 is the key level. I might add a little bigger position around the 570. If it breaks below 570, I'll add a bigger position. There we go. Okay. So now my average is 585 and I'm going to sell half. I don't like the weakness, but let's see. I don't trade with big sizes. I keep it small because it's easier to get in and get out with smaller sizes. Plus, I don't really have, uh, uh, the tendency, because my goal is to make about $1,000 a day, right? And I don't like the way this candle is ending. So I'm in about 300 shares with an average of 5.85. Okay, so that flip happened because of auto follow. So let's turn it on. So that's a feature which kind of allows me, when I'm not looking at the charts, to show me what is actually moving. But sometimes when I'm trading in the simulator, it can come in the way and kick me out of a trade. But yeah, I'm not really enjoying the price action on this. So the time it says is around 7:04. So there are a lot of traders who are coming in. So there might be dispersed attention. I'm going to take a loss on that one and get out. It's a place where it's supposed to bounce, so I might be selling early, but hey, better safe than sorry. So I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute candle. So if it makes a new 1-minute high, if it breaks about 583, it makes sense to get in for another position. But right now, I don't see anything else moving up. I see there are a lot of shorts that have taken position. I'm pretty sure some of the shorts have sold over here. So let's see, I have about 84 shares. So I like the fact that it actually made a new high, right? And this 5-minute candle also closed in the green. And we still haven't breached this level of 662. So I'm interested in this. Let's see where this candle closes. So I like the fact that the first 1 minute of the 5-minute candle closed green. Let's wait for this minute to finish. Okay, you know what? I might be interested in taking a position on the flush. I am at 560 and I'm going to sell some. I'm going to sell more because I don't like what it's doing. And it's right at the 20 EMA on the 1 minute. So if it breaks below 550, I will take a bigger position. I'm not trying to get 10, 15 cents out of it. That's the max I'm trying to get. I'm not trying to get anything more than 10, 15 cents is what I mean. I'm just waiting for it to break below 550. Like 541, 542, and then quick bounce to 560 is where I'm going to sell it. Okay, looks like it's going to break. There we go. I'm taking a position and my average is 551. Okay, there we go. Sell it, sell it. Sell that. Please take my order. I'm just gonna sell everything because I don't like the weakness of it. And the problem is when I'm trading, I really want the number of trades per second to this column to go up. I want it in the 50s. Right now, there's not a lot of momentum. The reason why I took the trade and I was a little aggressive on the dip was because it was right at the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart, right? And it was also right at the VWAP, and it was close to the 20 EMA and on the 1-minute chart. So I expect about 5 to 10 cent bounces that happen over here. So that trade was worth it. This is the kind of simple, scalping that I do. So you can see from all those little scalps of about 500 to 1,000 shares, I'm up about $200 on the day. And with 1,000 shares, so you'd need pretty much like $5,000 in your account to kind of do that. But let's say if you had $2,000 in your account, you'd be up by about 90 cents right now, about $90 right now, which is still decent. Over $2,000, you make $90, which is about 5% on the day. Let's see. So this is selling off a lot. I might be interested below 530. Below 530. Nope. The reason is when it comes down to 530, it tends to go back to 550 again. The only reason I'm interested is because it bounced right here at 533. But if you look at the past history, what it tends to do is it comes to the 20 EMA on the 5-minute, and then tends to bounce. Looks like AMX is doing something. I don't really like the volume on this. There is no volume in the market. It's dead. So let's go back. Let's get out of the full screen mode and let's see what else we can cover. That's a replay. And then I have some admin section that I use for the operations. I'll just give you a quick sneak peek into it. I hope I don't have any. So this basically tells me what my feed is, what my memory is, what are the different metrics I have, how many users sign up, how many simulator throughput, and a bunch of debug files. So that's not necessary, but yeah, pretty much. Let's go back to simulator home. Yep. And you know what? Let's click on the pricing plans. For example, let's click on this. So the plans currently, you can just buy the trading journal at $25 a month. I doubt if there is anything with the number of features cheaper than this, but I would definitely not like to go just for the journal. You have the simulator, so this kind of details what you get from the simulator. I think this font is a little small, so let me make it bigger. Yeah, so you get real market data with no real money. You can take trades. You get the hotkeys, charts, and positions workflow. You also, you get like a replay style trade review that would be in the journal. And this is basically, that allows you to take positions while, working with simulated trading with it. It's not real money. But it allows you to take realistic positions in it. And then scanner is where you get all the panels, all the scanners that you have, which is your apex acceleration, apex attention, apex halts, apex reversals, and after hours gainers, after hours losers, and stock info. With the simulator, where the only additional parts are the orders, time and sales, and the position and P&L. These are the 3 widgets that you get. The reason that's the case is because these simulator takes up more of the compute resources than actual scanners do, right? I would say the simulator takes up about, 30% more than what the scanners do for each of the accounts that is set up. Let's see. Next is the Pro. This is what I would typically recommend. This gives you all the Apex scanners. This gives you the full simulator. This gives you the full trading journal. And you pretty much get everything, the scanner, the simulator, and the trading journal in your Pro. One thing that you don't get is the Apex replay. Apex replay is where, you pretty much, let me open Apex replay in a different window. So the only thing that you don't get is the Apex replay. That allows you to go tick by tick and then, relive that particular trading day and trade it again, just in case you made any mistakes, so you can review or probably you missed the whole market and you just want to practice, or you're somebody who wants to get into day trading, because you should not get into day trading blind with real money. And if you don't have the time for it during the day, you could pretty much use the replay functionality to replay the past 10 days of trading over the weekend during any time window for howsoever long you want. And that is the feature that Apex Replay offers. So if you include all of that, so the plan that is offered is about $195 a month. So that's for the Apex Replay, which is included along with the scanner, the simulator, trading journal. So you get all the four products at $195 a month, which is less than $10 a day. So let's go back to the replay trading desk. Okay, I'm zoomed out. I don't want to be zoomed out. I generally like to keep my charts smaller and nimble. Okay, Amex is making a move. Let's see. I do like the fact, so when did Amex start sending out signals? 7/12/43. So right about here. As soon as there was a surge, we started showing out signals. You know what, let's get rid of this line. Okay, it's coming down. So I'd be interested in taking a position around 450 to a quick bounce to 470. I don't like this high volume sell candle on the 10 seconds. So I'm not too keen until it breaks 482 and keeps going. Let's look at my closed positions. I've made about $191 on STFS. This was from an earlier position, so which I had taken on a different trading day during the replay session. Let's see. I like the fact that it's holding this level, and I like the fact that the 5-minute candle is about to close. So if the next 5-minute candle can breach 481, so we could be in for some fireworks. Let's see, we got 5 seconds left on this candle. I'm waiting for the next 1-minute candle on the next new 5-minute candle to breach 482. 482 is what I'm looking for it to breach. Or it could come down to 465 and hold that level. I could have actually taken the trade on the 465, but typically I do not take the trade on the first 5-minute, 1-minute candle. I want to see if it can make a new low, and that's the low that generally a lot of traders kind of respect. So I want to see how it behaves. I don't want to get caught in a sudden flush. And there's the indicators. You can have multiple. I don't like the split right here. That's not how I trade. I don't want the buy sell split. Okay. There we go. Some traders like it, but I'm not a big fan of that. I like the fact that it is holding this level, right? My stop loss is at 465, and I'm going to take a small position. My stop loss is 465. I'm in at 470. Nah. I'm just gonna sell that position and get out. I pretty much sold break even. Bought at 470, about 300 shares. Sold at 470. I like the fact that it's holding the position, but I also don't like the fact that the volume just never came through. So, not a big fan of it. I'd just wait for a few more traders to get interested in it. What I'd be interested in is if it suddenly flushes to 450, I will take a trade for a sudden move to 470s, 465s, a 15-cent gain. On 500 shares, a 15-cent gain is about $75, which is totally worth it. See, this is the problem. Every time someone is trying to buy it, someone sells it right at 482. I don't like that. There was this sudden surge in volume over here, and it just did not break through. There's no follow through. Okay, what's YHC doing? That's a new name. There's pretty much like no action on it. Yeah. Okay, Amex, it has decent number of trades on it. Let's see. So there's about 2 minutes left on this 5 minute candle. And if it does not make a new high, people are going to lose interest and it might flush back down again. So let's see what happens every time it makes a new high and it doesn't break it, it flushes back to the 20 EMA. Interesting. Flushes back to the 20 EMA. Flushes back to the 20 EMA. Did not break at all. Like, did not recover after this. Flushes more down. And then tries to make a comeback. Makes a decent move from $4 to 4.82. It's about 80 cents. Not bad. I'm not trying to catch the whole 80 cents. Like I said, I'm looking to get 15 cents, 10 cents, multiple times over and over again. I like this flush down. Yeah, you see how there was the sudden jump from 458 to 468. It's not a lot, but even on the slow days, if you kind of scalp like that with about 1,000 shares, each cent on 1,000 shares is about $10. So if you can scalp 30 cents or 20, 15 cents, you're pretty much set for the day. Because in my opinion, it's not about making money, it's also about not losing money. Okay, now we're getting some momentum. I'd like it to hold this position. I don't see continuation coming in, so there is a big seller at 492. You can see a lot of buying going on, but then the price is not budging from 492. Okay, 482, 485. On a hot market, this would have ripped right here. I like the fact that it came back close to 495, 492, but I also don't like the fact that it could not break it. Okay. This is a new 5 minute candle, so that's a good sign. So a 5 minute trader is looking at a stop loss of 4.59. So I would be interested around 4.70, or if it breaks 5 and then flushes back to 4.8. I'm not going to take the trade here in the anticipation of break of 5. Okay, there was a big selling going on there. I like the fact that the volume is coming, slowly tapering off. So someone actually took a big position there. They have the same read. When the volume is tapering down on the sell side, you will have somebody like buy a big position. So this was about 77,000. So somebody took like, I would say 30,000 share position there. Okay. Needs to break 5, come back, and then go back up. Okay. We're getting some momentum. We are getting some momentum. That's the only, like, you see how the number of trades has gone up to 50? That's what I'm interested in. Okay, I like that. I like that convincing break. I like the fact that it is not coming back to 5. Let's see. Okay, I like the fact that it's still holding. This is a risky entry right here. If I get in, I'm right at the high. But what I like about this fact is that it is holding that position and not selling off. Set it to auto. Okay, let's see. Hold. Okay, it's holding. It's holding. I'm waiting for a dip. I'm waiting for a dip. I'm waiting for a dip. That was a big sell. That was a big sell block. Come down, come down, come down, come down. Come on. Okay, I'm going to take some position here. at 510. Okay, I'm going to take a bigger position there. Okay. At this point, I'm just trying to like get out. I took the trade. It's not going in my favor. I'm getting out. I'm not going to be stubborn. I'm not going to get stubborn. So the trading is all about probabilities, right? So I lost some money there, which is fine. But I am not going to get stubborn just because I'm in a losing position. I don't have to win every single trade I take. Okay, I like the fact that it stopped the selling, but what I'm interested in is seeing where this closes. Okay, I am interested in taking the trade over here. My average is 486. Okay. Take a little more position there. 479, 479. I don't like the fact that it's not bouncing. I should get out. You know, that's the right thing to do. I should get out. There is like 8 seconds left on this 1 minute candle. Let's see if the next 1 minute candle can actually give me a bounce. I should get out. Like, that's the right thing to do. I'm being greedy over here. You know, the reason I'm being greedy is on the 10-second chart, there's a little, the selling has come down and there's a little bit of buying that's going on there. So that's the only reason I'm being greedy right now. But the ideal position to get in would be at 466. That's the actual position where the support lies. You know what? This is giving me a chance to get out, so I will get out. Yeah, I was looking for that bounce, like 7 cents, 6 cents bounce. Anyhow, let's look at GMM. So we see volume coming in. We've also seen that multiple times it has tried to do that and it has failed. So I'm a little skeptical. Let's see if it can reclaim 363 again. I will get in. Nasty. So what does it do? Every time it goes up, it pulls back deeper. So not interested. Let's see. MX, what are you doing, sir? Okay, at this point of time, we have broken the 5 minute, the previous candle low of the 5 minutes. So this is a really high volume red candle too. So until it makes a new 5 minute high on the previous candle, I'm not even gonna take the trade. So from our high of $191, we have come down to 160. I'd say it was a decent save, but then I had to take a bigger position of about 1,300 shares to kind of average down out of it. Not super happy with that. SkyQ, I never trade this. This is a nasty stock. It is prone to manipulation, not something I want to trade. Ooh, okay, you know what? If it breaks 440, I will get in right here. 456, 460, get out. I should have taken it around 449. I was a little late to the party. I bought in about 1,000 shares at 456, sold it for a $40 profit. I mean, this is the only way I know to trade. I can take bigger positions. That's just not me. The way I look at it is there are two types of traders. One are the smaller traders and the other ones are the bigger traders. The bigger traders set the tone of the bigger moves. The smaller traders generally tend to lose out because they can't move the market. But someone who takes up bigger positions, like Ross does with 40,000 shares, 30,000 shares, they can change and move the market. So the advantage they have, like for example, right over here, is they can push the price above the 529 mark, at which point a lot of the shorts start to cover. And they can, pretty much sell to the shorts covering. As a smaller trader, you don't have that advantage, but at the same time, you don't also risk, let's say, there were no shorts over here to cover. What if, shorts actually said, screw it, I'm just going to take a bigger position, and they get adamant. So at the time, it's basically a game of chicken. So Ross, like, a big trader could take a position, and the price does not shoot up because there is no one covering. So at that point, what happens is, and maybe there is someone on the inside who just is like happy with the price, the way it moved, and they just start selling. So with a bigger position, you have the risk that each cent it goes down, um, you tend to lose big, right? But for the most part, since you can move the market, you are sometimes in the driver's seat. But when you're a smaller trader, you don't really have that option, right? So your best bet is to take smaller trades, and try to catch the move early. That's the best advice I'd give. For me, the trading style I do, I tend to be patient, and I will wait for the opportunities and only take a trade when it makes sense to the way I trade. I trade very differently to a lot of people. I know for a fact that a lot of people are interested in taking, breakout trades. That's mostly not how I trade. Let's look at the key levels here. Okay, so there is that key level there. Okay, so more traders are getting interested in this. See, 250 is the level to look out for. It's going higher and higher. So I'm waiting for it to come back. I am not going to take the trade there. It's a 20-cent flush, right? That can happen. You know what? I'll take a position there. I'm at 236. I'm trying to sell it at 244. I don't like the fact that nobody's jumping in on this. I should sell and get out. That's the right thing to do. But there's the new 5-minute candle. I'm with 600 shares. And I'm at 235. You see the problem? PCSA just started moving really hard. So this might actually come back even more. But let's be patient. Let's be patient. I'm going to sell half just to be safe. I'm going to sell the rest. Let's see what's happening with PCSA. Yeah, that was the reason. Okay, this is the first 1-minute candle. I'm gonna wait for this candle to close and the next candle to start. I want to see what happens. I want to see if this can hold. See how it's dropping? And it's like back to back to back high volume selling candles on the 10-second chart. Okay, that's a good sign. I wanted to hold its previous low of 423. Can it hold? Nope. I'm not getting into this trade unless the previous high of 474 gets broken on the 1-minute. You see how the number of trades have gone up, so that's a good sign. And I also see that PCSA is hitting scanners. So let's see how good the scanner was. So the first PCSA ping was at 730. 730. The very next candle on the 10-second, it was within 10 seconds, you had PCSA showing up. And you have the lightning over here, which pretty much tells you that it has made a really big move. Oh, this would be actually, I like this. Let it break below yeah, I should have taken the trade at 290, sold it at 320. That would have been a good trade. Oh, wow, it wants to come down further, huh? Wow, okay. Okay, where does it want to stop? You know what? I would be interested in taking a trade below 250. I see volume to it. I see it holding 263. Man, should have taken the trade at 263 itself, but it would have been a little early. But could have, should have, would have. It's okay. You'll have more opportunities. If it comes back again to 260, I'll probably take a trade. Oh wow, that was almost like an 80-cent winner. Yeah, from 260 to 330, almost a 70-cent winner, but I'm not trying to catch the whole 70 cents. Even getting 25, 30 cents out of it. With 260, with the position size I have of $4,500, I'd have easily had like 2,000 shares. But the problem is, I would not have gone with a bigger position here because it was a knife. I'd have probably taken like a $2,000 position, which would have, or maybe a $3,000 position, which would have given me about 1,000 shares. But on 1,000 shares, 40 cents, still $400. So, wow, look at that. It's almost like a dollar now. So this 5 minute candle is still in play. All right. I don't like this 1 minute candle, but if we have this 5 minute candle closing green and the next 5 minute candle, 1 minute candle closing over the previous 1 minute candle, I will get interested in it. Anyhow, on this whole scanner subscription, so for the first month, you can absolutely sign in completely free. You don't need any kind of credit card or any payment information. You just use your email, and then you verify that your email it's genuinely a real email, and then you get access to the Pro Plus, which includes the scanners, the replay, the journal, and the simulator, everything in one pack. And then after your 1 month, you'd be asked to pick one of the plans, and then you could either subscribe or you could just cancel your it's just going to go dormant. And if in the future, maybe right now is not the time, you can always come back and pretty much reactivate at that point. Let's go back to what it's doing. Geez, it's almost like $1.40. I should have taken the trade. Yeah, let's zoom out, zoom out. Okay. Yeah. See, I like these curls, but the problem is none of these previous 1 minute candles have managed to break the high volume of this candle. I want that to happen. Until that happens, this is still a very, very risky entry. This is a super risky entry. Mm, I'm at 554. Ooh, I want to get out. Get me out. Yep. No, sir. That was a sudden drop from 360 right down to 340. See, I really don't care if I miss out on making money, but what I do want to do is keep my risk in check, because at that point for me, if it had broken below 340, I would have just taken the $150 loss and moved out. Um, and as soon as it came back to 354, I didn't really care if it was going to go higher. The reason is at that point it showed so much weakness with the sudden 20-cent drop that it was too risky for me to stay in that trade. And this is the advantage I was talking about, the bigger traders. They can move the market, right? If somebody had actually, taken a shot, they made money, and now they can actually pretty much cover and get out with a decent profit. So someone taking a big position here is going to push out those shorts. So as a smaller trader, you do not have that privilege. Okay, now we have one candle which has a higher volume than this red candle. Let's see. I would still not be comfortable taking a trade on it because I want another 5-minute candle to break 413. That would be the ideal condition to actually take a trade. Where has it bounced off of? It has bounced off of the 20 EMA on the 1 minute. So let's see. 3, okay. Right here is a good place to take a position. 551, 351. I'm just looking for... Okay, there we go. Come on, sell it. Okay. I don't know how much I got out of it. 10 cents on 400 shares, about 40 bucks. I don't like the fact that this 5-minute candle might close red. It's gonna be higher 5-minute red candle. Okay. Much bigger sell-off coming, so super risky. Super risky. Yeah, it's almost like 40 minutes into the trading session. And we've been streaming for a good hour. We made about $200. So this is simulator again on a replay. Realistically, I'd have probably made about 130 bucks, 150 bucks, which is not bad. Because given the condition of the market, this was like a super slow day. And given what PCSA actually did, which was go to $6 and crash all the way back to 263, I'm actually happy to be green on this day. All right, so I think that's where I'm gonna end the stream today. Maybe, let's see, VIVK. Okay. Again, 250 is where it wants to go. Okay, I missed the boat. I missed the boat on that one. Oh, big red cell candle. Big red candle. Big red candle. Okay, get out. I got 6 cents and about 2,500 shares. That was a super risky trade. I would not have taken the trade if I was trading real money, honestly. That was just a knife down. Let's look at PCSA, what it's doing. There's hardly APUs, there's hardly any volume on that. Okay, so PCSA is holding the level, but the real move is only going to happen about 4.13. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. Let's see if we can go through some of other replays tomorrow, because I don't really get to trade any of these days. So yeah, $311, $314 on the simulator. It is what it is, but I think I might start trading with some real money by the middle of this month. But right now I'm still, working on one particular module of this. So if you're interested, these are the plans. You can sign up for a month for free, and then take a look, try it out. You can message me at support@apexscanner.io. I would be happy to answer any questions, any issues while you guys are on your trial period. And this is the monthly, this is the yearly. So yeah, let me know. Sounds good. All right, thanks. Thank you. Bye bye.